Have you ever wondered what sets great leaders apart from everyone else? What secret strategies do they use to stay ahead in the game of power and influence? Welcome, everyone, to this special audiobook adaptation of The 48 Laws of Power. Today, we'll explore some of the most impactful laws from Robert Greene's classic, laws that have not only shaped history, but continue to inspire modern American entrepreneurs, leaders, and go-getters. In our fast-paced world of business and leadership, understanding these strategies can give you that competitive edge, whether you're running a startup, climbing the corporate ladder, or simply striving for personal growth. So let's dive in. Law 1. Never outshine the master. This law is a cornerstone of power dynamics and strategy. It teaches you that no matter how talented or successful you are, you must always be cautious not to eclipse the brilliance of your superior. In any professional or social setting, your superior's sense of self-worth and authority is delicate. If you inadvertently outshine them, even unintentionally, you risk triggering envy, insecurity, or resentment. History is filled with examples where prodigious talent led to a downfall simply because the master felt threatened. At its core, this law advises that you manage your brilliance with tact. Imagine you're working on a major project in a corporate environment. Your innovative ideas and impeccable execution might naturally draw attention. However, if your boss perceives that your talent overshadows their authority, they may feel undermined or devalued. Rather than allowing your achievements to become a point of contention, you should strategically downplay them. Present your successes as collaborative efforts or as enhancements to your superior's vision. In doing so, you not only protect your position but also elevate the status of your leader, ensuring that they remain secure in their role. This principle is not about suppressing your abilities. It's about channeling them wisely. Consider the analogy of a star that shines too brightly. It might momentarily capture everyone's attention, but if it outshines the sun, it disrupts the natural order of the solar system. Similarly, in a work environment or any hierarchy, your goal should be to add value without making others feel diminished. By carefully calibrating your performance, you can make your superior look good, which in turn creates a win-win scenario. They remain confident, and you gain a trusted ally who is more likely to support your ideas and future endeavors. Moreover, this law extends beyond the workplace. In personal relationships and social circles, maintaining a balance between showcasing your strengths and allowing others to shine fosters harmony and mutual respect. It's about creating an environment where every individual feels valued. When you consistently allow your superiors or influential figures to bask in the limelight, you subtly position yourself as a reliable, modest, and indispensable team player. In essence, never outshine the master is a lesson in humility, diplomacy, and strategic self-presentation. It reminds you that real power lies not just in your talents, but in the artful management of how those talents are perceived by others. By ensuring that your achievements complement rather than compete with those of your superiors, you secure a foundation for long-term success and influence. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. This law delves into the complex dynamics of trust and loyalty, warning us that relying too heavily on friends can be a dangerous gamble. Friends, by nature, share a common background, similar experiences, and often similar ambitions. However, these very traits can lead to envy, rivalry, or even betrayal, especially when personal ambitions and insecurities come into play. When you place complete trust in friends, you risk them turning against you in moments of weakness or when they feel overshadowed by your achievements. The idea is not to dismiss friendship altogether, but rather to understand its inherent limitations and to strategically manage relationships so that you're never left vulnerable. One of the key insights behind this law is that friends are often too emotionally involved. Their feelings can cloud their judgment and prompt them to act out of jealousy or a sense of entitlement. For example, in a competitive work environment, a friend might help you initially, but could later become resentful if they perceive that your success comes at the expense of their own opportunities. In contrast, enemies, although initially hostile, can be more reliable allies once they are converted. An enemy-turned-ally often has more to prove. Humbled by past conflict, they are likely to demonstrate a fierce loyalty to ensure they do not repeat previous mistakes. This transformation can be a powerful strategic advantage. History provides numerous examples where former adversaries, when integrated wisely, became some of the most dependable partners. When you convert an enemy, you neutralize a potential threat and simultaneously gain a resource. Their transformation into a trusted colleague or subordinate is fueled by the desire to validate their loyalty and to prove their worth, which often results in a more committed alliance than that with a longtime friend who might take your support for granted. The process of using enemies requires a keen understanding of human nature. It involves recognizing that every person harbors insecurities and hidden ambitions, and by addressing those with calculated generosity or by acknowledging their past grievances, you can redirect their energy toward a common goal. In modern American business and leadership, this principle is especially relevant. Competitive environments demand not only innovative ideas but also a clear-eyed view of the interpersonal dynamics at play. Friends in the workplace might become complacent or overly familiar, whereas a former rival, when managed properly, can bring a fresh perspective, drive, and an unexpected level of dedication. The transformation from enemy to ally is not instantaneous. It requires careful maneuvering, open communication, and sometimes even public acts of reconciliation that reframe past conflicts into mutual gains. Ultimately, the lesson here is that trust should be strategic rather than blind. By learning to use enemies, you turn potential obstacles into powerful tools for success. This law encourages you to remain vigilant, to understand that everyone has hidden motives, and to build alliances based on a realistic appraisal of human behavior. In doing so, you protect yourself from the pitfalls of misplaced loyalty while paving the way for more resilient and dynamic relationships that can withstand the tests of time and competition. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. In the realm of power and influence, transparency might seem like a virtue, but when it comes to your strategies and plans, the art of concealment is far more potent. This law teaches you that by keeping your true intentions hidden, you prevent others from preparing effective countermeasures against you. When you reveal your plans, even in subtle hints, you risk giving your adversaries the chance to derail your progress. Instead, maintaining an aura of mystery ensures that your opponents remain off balance and uncertain about your next move. Concealing your intentions means deliberately masking your goals with misleading information or ambiguous statements. Think of it like a master chess player who never shows the full extent of their strategy until the decisive moment. If your competitors or colleagues can predict your actions, they will have the opportunity to counteract them, potentially undermining your success. By keeping your plans veiled, you not only protect your own interests but also create a psychological advantage. People are naturally inclined to speculate, and their wild guesses often lead them down the wrong path, leaving you free to maneuver without interference. Historically, many influential figures have thrived by employing this principle. Great military commanders and political leaders have often cloaked their true objectives under layers of ambiguity, thereby lulling their enemies into a false sense of security. For instance, during strategic campaigns, generals would sometimes spread disinformation about their true battlefield maneuvers, ensuring that the opposing forces were misdirected and unprepared for the real attack. This calculated concealment not only preserved their tactical advantage but also sowed confusion among the ranks of their adversaries. In modern settings, whether in corporate boardrooms or personal relationships, the principle remains just as relevant. Consider a business leader who withholds the full details of an upcoming merger or acquisition. By not revealing every facet of their strategy, they prevent competitors from anticipating moves that could jeopardize the deal. Similarly, in negotiations, leaving some cards close to your chest forces the other party to make assumptions that may work in your favor if they turn out to be incorrect. Moreover, concealing your intentions does not imply deceit for malicious ends. Rather, it is a strategic approach to safeguard your plans until the moment is right for revelation. It allows you to remain adaptable and agile in the face of changing circumstances. When you keep your objectives hidden, you are free to pivot and adjust without being locked into a predetermined path. This flexibility is crucial in dynamic environments where the landscape can shift unexpectedly. In essence, conceal your intentions is about managing perceptions. By ensuring that your true goals remain obscured, you not only maintain control over your strategic narrative but also force others to operate on incomplete information. This uncertainty can paralyze your opponents, making it difficult for them to mount an effective challenge. Ultimately, mastering this law empowers you to direct the course of events, keeping your adversaries guessing while you steadily advance towards your desired outcome. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. In the intricate dance of power and influence, constant presence can often lead to undervaluation. Law 16 teaches that by strategically withdrawing or limiting your availability, you create a sense of scarcity and mystery that, in turn, amplifies your perceived value. When you are always accessible, your unique qualities and contributions tend to become commonplace, and people start taking you for granted. Instead, by occasionally stepping away, you invite curiosity and admiration, making your eventual return all the more impactful. Imagine a scenario in a corporate setting. A highly talented executive who is always present may find that colleagues and subordinates begin to overlook their contributions, as constant exposure breeds familiarity and, ultimately, complacency. However, when this executive takes a deliberate break, be it a vacation, sabbatical, or even a planned absence from meetings, their absence becomes noticeable. In their absence, the team feels the void, recognizes the leader's unique role, and begins to value the contributions more deeply. This phenomenon works much like luxury brands that deliberately limit supply. Scarcity increases desirability and prestige. Historically, many powerful figures have understood the art of calculated absence. Rulers and monarchs would often retreat from the public eye for a period, letting rumors, legends, and anticipation build around them. Their periodic reappearance would then be met with renewed reverence and awe. Such tactics not only reinforced their authority but also maintained a dynamic balance between presence and absence that kept their subjects in a state of respectful expectancy. In modern contexts, this law is equally applicable. Consider the world of social media and celebrity culture. Influencers who continuously post may gradually lose the allure that comes from anticipation. Conversely, those who strategically pace their appearances and content releases often enjoy a more engaged and loyal following. The principle is simple. By managing your presence, you maintain control over your narrative and the way others perceive your worth. Moreover, using absence wisely allows you time for reflection, planning, and rejuvenation. It grants you the opportunity to step back, assess your strategies, and return with fresh insights, which can be invaluable in maintaining a competitive edge. Whether in business, politics, or personal relationships, a well-timed absence can disrupt the expectations of your opponents and allies alike, leaving them uncertain and more likely to react in ways that favor your eventual return. Ultimately, use absence to increase respect and honor is about understanding that your influence isn't solely determined by constant visibility, but rather by the careful modulation of your presence. It's a call to recognize that sometimes less is more. Less exposure can lead to greater impact. By embracing periods of absence, you not only safeguard your individuality and mystique but also ensure that when you do reappear, your influence is felt more profoundly and your honor is heightened. Law 29. Plan all the way to the end. Success is not just about ambition or seizing opportunities. It's about seeing the entire journey ahead, anticipating challenges, and ensuring that every move aligns with your ultimate goal. Law 29 teaches us that true power lies in long-term thinking. Those who act impulsively, without a clear plan, are often caught off guard by unforeseen obstacles. In contrast, those who meticulously chart out their course can navigate crises, adapt to change, and maintain control over their destiny. Imagine you are an entrepreneur launching a startup. You have an innovative idea, a great team, and initial funding. But without a well-defined roadmap, one that includes market trends, competition analysis, scaling strategies, and exit plans, your venture could crumble at the first sign of adversity. Many businesses fail not because they lack potential, but because their leaders did not think beyond the first few steps. A long-term vision ensures that every short-term decision supports the ultimate goal, preventing unnecessary risks and wasted efforts. History is filled with examples of leaders who either mastered or ignored this law. Napoleon Bonaparte, despite his military genius, failed to plan for the harsh Russian winter during his 1812 invasion. His lack of foresight led to the decimation of his army and, eventually, his downfall. In contrast, Julius Caesar meticulously planned his rise to power, ensuring that every alliance, battle, and political maneuver contributed to his long-term objective, becoming the supreme ruler of Rome. His ability to anticipate threats and opportunities kept him ahead of his rivals. In modern business and politics, this law is just as crucial. CEOs who launch aggressive expansion strategies without considering long-term sustainability often lead their companies into financial ruin. Political leaders who implement policies without anticipating their long-term impact can find themselves losing public support. Whether you are managing a career, a business, or a personal project, thinking several steps ahead helps you stay prepared and in control. However, planning all the way to the end does not mean rigidly sticking to a single course of action. It requires adaptability and contingency strategies. The best planners prepare for multiple outcomes, ensuring that no matter what obstacles arise, they can pivot without losing sight of their ultimate goal. They do not get distracted by temporary setbacks or momentary successes, but keep their focus on the bigger picture. The key takeaway from this law is that power and success are not the result of random actions or lucky breaks. They are the product of foresight, preparation, and discipline. Those who plan meticulously anticipate their opponent's moves, control resources effectively, and minimize risks. In contrast, those who act without a clear vision often fall victim to circumstances beyond their control. So, before you make any significant move, whether in business, relationships, or personal growth, ask yourself, have I planned all the way to the end? What obstacles might I face? What will I do if things don't go as expected? By answering these questions in advance, you not only safeguard your position but also ensure that when success comes, it is lasting and well-earned. You said, Law 35, reasoned for 4 seconds. Law 35, master the art of timing. Timing is not just about being punctual. It is a refined skill that separates the successful from the mediocre. This law teaches that knowing when to act is as important as knowing what to do. In any strategic pursuit, be it in business, politics, or personal endeavors, the value of a well-timed move cannot be overstated. Those who master the art of timing are able to seize opportunities that others miss, turning potential setbacks into springboards for success. At its core, this law revolves around the idea that every situation has its moment. A great entrepreneur might wait for the perfect market conditions before launching a product, ensuring maximum impact and profitability. In contrast, rushing into action without considering the timing can lead to premature failures and missed opportunities. Think of the stock market. Investors who buy at the right moment and sell before the peak can make substantial gains, while those who act impulsively may suffer losses. Historical figures provide compelling examples of this principle. Leaders such as Napoleon Bonaparte and Winston Churchill were known not only for their brilliant strategies but also for their uncanny ability to read the tempo of events. They knew when to advance and when to retreat, using patience as a tactical advantage. Their decisions were not merely based on immediate gains, but on a long-term vision that anticipated changes in fortune and public sentiment. This is why timing remains a critical factor in every successful campaign, be it on the battlefield or in boardrooms. Modern scenarios are no different. In today's fast-paced world, where information flows instantaneously, the ability to assess the right moment for action is more crucial than ever. For instance, in negotiations, a well-timed pause can create a sense of urgency or uncertainty in the opposing party, leading them to make concessions. Similarly, in marketing, launching a campaign at the precise moment when consumer sentiment is most favorable can transform a good product into a market sensation. Mastering timing also means knowing when to be patient. It involves a deep understanding of both the external environment and your internal readiness. A successful leader observes market trends, listens to the subtle cues in conversations, and reads the underlying currents of change. This knowledge allows them to determine whether to wait to act immediately or to adjust their strategy altogether. By carefully synchronizing your moves with the rhythm of events, you not only avoid unnecessary risks but also ensure that each action contributes to a larger, cohesive plan. Moreover, mastering timing is about embracing the natural cycles of energy and opportunity. It teaches that sometimes inaction is as powerful as action. By allowing the moment to mature, you create the conditions for a breakthrough that is both unexpected and unstoppable. When you finally decide to move, your actions carry a weight and precision that are unmistakable, often leaving your competitors scrambling to catch up. In essence, Law 35 urges you to see time as a valuable resource, one that must be observed, respected, and harnessed with discipline. It's about converting waiting periods into strategic advantages and turning fleeting moments into lasting triumphs. By mastering the art of timing, you transform uncertainty into opportunity, ensuring that every decision you make is in perfect harmony with the demands of the moment. Law 40. Despise the free lunch. This law reminds us that nothing truly valuable comes without cost. The idea of receiving something for free is alluring, but hidden within these free offerings are often strings attached that can compromise your independence, control, or long-term success. When you accept something at no cost, you may be inadvertently entering into a subtle exchange, where the provider gains leverage over your decisions or creates an obligation that is hard to shake off. Historically, rulers and leaders have long understood that free gifts or favors are rarely as benign as they seem. In court politics, for instance, a monarch might bestow a free favor upon a noble, not out of generosity, but to secure that noble's loyalty and ensure he remains beholden to the crown. Similarly, in business, seemingly generous offers can lead to dependencies where the benefactor dictates terms that ultimately limit your freedom. The free lunch, therefore, becomes a tool of control rather than a genuine gift. Consider the modern corporate world. A startup might be tempted by an investor's free capital or a company by complementary software solutions. However, these offers often come with restrictive clauses, forcing you into long-term contracts, locking you into specific ecosystems, or even giving the provider control over crucial decisions. The short-term gain of free resources can ultimately cost you much more in lost autonomy and strategic flexibility. Despising the free lunch also reinforces the value of self-reliance and personal investment. When you pay for something, you're not just exchanging money for goods or services, you're affirming your own worth and maintaining control over your decisions. Investing your own resources forces you to be judicious and discerning, ensuring that the opportunities you pursue align with your long-term goals. It also builds resilience. When you commit your own effort and capital, you become less susceptible to manipulation and more empowered in your decision-making. Ultimately, this law is a call to scrutinize every offer that appears free. It urges you to look beyond the surface and consider the hidden costs and potential loss of independence. By despising the free lunch, you safeguard your autonomy and ensure that every asset, every advantage you acquire truly belongs to you, not to those who would seek to control you with invisible chains. This mindset is crucial whether you're navigating business deals, personal relationships, or any situation where your freedom and success are at stake. You said, Law 47. Reasoned for 6 seconds. Law 47. Do not go past the mark in victory. Learn when to stop. Victory is intoxicating, and in the heat of success, it's all too easy to push beyond the safe boundaries of achievement. However, overreaching after a win can quickly turn triumph into downfall. This law emphasizes that knowing when to stop is as critical as fighting for victory. When you overextend in the wake of success, you risk losing the very advantage you've worked so hard to secure. Imagine a sports team that, after clinching a championship, becomes overconfident and takes unnecessary risks in the following season. That same unchecked enthusiasm can lead to poor decisions and eventual defeat. In business, a company that aggressively expands immediately after a successful product launch might lose its core competencies or alienate loyal customers. Thus, the art of knowing when victory is complete and when to consolidate is paramount. This law teaches that every battle has a natural conclusion and that pushing your advantage too far can invite unforeseen challenges. It's about striking a balance between ambition and prudence. When you've achieved your goal, it's essential to pause, assess the situation, and secure your gains before moving on to the next challenge. Overextension can erode the stability and reputation you've built, opening the door for rivals to capitalize on your vulnerability. History provides numerous cautionary tales. Many great generals and leaders, despite their initial successes, met with downfall because they failed to recognize the moment to stop. They allowed their victories to swell their egos, leading to overconfidence and reckless decisions. For example, consider a military commander who, after a series of swift victories, fails to retreat or regroup, only to be caught off guard by a well-prepared enemy. Such scenarios underline the importance of measured restraint. In modern contexts, whether in corporate boardrooms or personal endeavors, knowing when to stop is a sign of true leadership and self-control. It involves setting clear milestones and understanding that sustaining success often requires consolidation and strategic withdrawal rather than continuous forward motion. In negotiations, for instance, securing a deal and then stepping back to let the agreed terms settle is often wiser than pushing for even more concessions, which can lead to backlash. Ultimately, do not go past the mark in victory is about preserving what you've won. It is a reminder that sustainable success comes from recognizing the value of restraint and strategic pause. By learning when to stop, you protect your achievements from overreach and ensure that your legacy is built on steady, enduring triumphs rather than fleeting bursts of unchecked ambition. In a world where the allure of constant conquest is strong, this law is a vital guide to maintaining balance, humility, and long-term power. Thank you for joining me on this journey through some of the most powerful strategies from the 48 Laws of Power. I hope that these insights have not only sparked your curiosity, but also equipped you with practical tools to navigate the complex world of influence and leadership. Remember, every law we discussed is not just a rule but a window into the timeless art of strategic thinking. Whether you're climbing the corporate ladder, running a business, or simply seeking personal growth, I'd love to hear from you. Please share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know which law resonated with you the most and how you plan to apply these strategies in your life. If you found this audiobook insightful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more motivational content and practical leadership tips. Your support means the world to me and helps ensure that we can continue to bring you engaging and valuable content. Thanks again for listening. And until next time, stay empowered and keep striving for excellence.